This is Rockslapping Champions. Player 1, playing Fenix, we have Darth Kraken. And player 2, playing Kerrigan, we have Akarnar. So, let's have a look at the masteries here. Fenix is a level 88 player. Level 88 mastery. Essentially maxed out right now on their mastery points. So we have mastery allocations of the Fenix attack speed, 5 points of the energy regeneration. Over here we have 24 points into the AI attack speed, AI vitality, and then 29 points into the Chrono Boost mastery. For Kerrigan, we have Kerrigan attack damage, immobilization wave, and then the fast evolution mastery. So this pick is kind of interesting. Usually if you see the immobilization wave mastery on Kerrigan, it means that they prefer a solo Kerrigan build where you want to then go for the primary ability. So it's either Vespene plus fast evolution or immo wave plus primary ability, depending on the kind of build you want to go for. But that is fine. Kerrigan is already building a hatchery over here, which is an interesting idea. And the reason for that is because there is a very early attack wave on this mission, and you can see here the attack wave has already spawned. So Kerrigan has realized this, and is putting down a bunch of spine crawlers to be able to just stall for the attack wave before the attack wave actually gets to the base and destroys her worker line. On this side, Fenix is not interested in helping out whatsoever, putting down 3 Stargates right off the bat. And we have a Forge, and you guys know what is coming up for Fenix because this seems to be the most popular Fenix build on Random Queue. Now, unfortunately here that there are Zerglings, but just take a look at what an insane kind of choke point that is. That is messing with the AI, and it is causing the AI to just go back and forth, and the hatchery, while it is taking damage, it's not going to end up going down. And the other thing that's going to happen is that this hatchery can work as a macro hatchery, so there's actually nothing wasted here for Kerrigan other than the resources used for the 3 spine crawlers that made that 1 Zergling fly on this side over here. But that is just immaculate positioning from Kerrigan. And yeah, we have 3 Stargates here and a Fleet Beacon coming out, so there you go. I'm actually not sure why Fenix did not put the Fleet Beacon down in addition to this, but he already has a Forge down and 1 random cannon on this side that has absolutely 0 kills. Kerrigan is already starting to harass here with the spine crawlers. Unfortunately, that spine crawler does end up going down to the Roach there, but yeah, Kerrigan is in no hurry anyway. I think Kerrigan has spawned right now. Yeah, Kerrigan is out. Fenix is also ready to be spawned, but he does not appear to be on the field yet. Kerrigan will be clearing out these rocks here. There are 2 ways of doing it. One is you can use Kerrigan, because Kerrigan doesn't really take a very long time to this. This is not the equivalent of rock slapping, because Kerrigan actually clears the rocks very quickly. The other option is you can build a bunch of links. I prefer to do just use Kerrigan to clear it. You're in no rush to complete this mission very quickly. And we have another 2 cannons that have come down after the attack wave, so I'm not really sure what the plan for that is. There is a Chrono Boost onto this Purifier Conclave, but nothing is being researched from there. And we have now 1 carrier coming out of the 3 Stargates there, and a reallocation there onto the probes right after the upgrade begins. And we have the Mojo AI being researched, but a carrier being produced for Fenix. And now we have shield upgrades coming up. So yes, and we have another cannon coming out here for Kerrigan's on here, and she's basically going to delete this attack wave, while Fenix, I don't understand why Fenix is getting the Mojo AI when he's getting getting a carrier out. But more power to Fenix. Kerrigan has cleaned up this side now and is going to work away on this void shard here. And let's have a look and see what Kerrigan's actually not building anything yet. I think she's focusing on this void shard here. Okay, moving these 2 spine crawlers here just to provide a little bit of extra DPS. That's fine. And yeah, she's focusing on her economy right now, just going up to a lair, and we'll see what kind of build that she chooses to do. So Klarian is out. So okay, so apparently Klarian was already researched. And there's another carrier coming out, but there's also the Mojo AI that has been researched with no scouts. And Klarian now is moving not towards the Void Shard, but towards the expansion. And Fenix is also nowhere to be seen. This is the 7-minute mark, and Fenix is not out yet. So I'm not really sure, but there we go. Klarian is going to start attacking these rocks, backed up by the probe over here. And Rock is going to take a lot of damage from the champion AI that is Golarion. And over here, Kerrigan has already cleared out that Void Shard, and she's going to start poking away on this next enemy base here. This is going to be a little bit tricky for Kerrigan. She's going to need a nice Swarm to get some vid detection so that she can see the lurkers and the Swarm hosts that are parked in that enemy base here. And no base coming down for Fenix just yet. Kerrigan has pretty much already saturated that base. Fenix, on the other hand, is waiting, I think, to clear all these rocks before they put down their Nexus. And yeah, you can see over here, Kerrigan really needs to get the detection out because the Corruptors actually cast a Corruption, and they can cause a lot of issues for Kerrigan because the number of times I have lost my Kerrigan or my Dehaka or any other hero unit to Corruptors is just too high to count. They cast Corruption and suddenly you take an insane amount of damage and you end up dying. So it becomes very, very difficult, just like that. Kerrigan would not have died if she did not have the Corruption debuff, but in the end, Kerrigan does end up going down. That is one Spinecrawler. I don't think is going to be enough to deal with the Mutalisks over here, because Spinecrawler DPS is not very high. It doesn't have very high anti-air DPS, so Kerrigan will need to do something about that. And now Fenix comes out to help his ally. That is the first Fenix spawn of the game, and we now have the two carriers plus Golarion starting to take out this enemy base, but now they have run out of interceptors because there are only 3 carriers on the map. And a lot of Hydralisks there, a lot of mad Hydralisks. Hydralisks are very, very angry that we have a stasis that comes down onto these Hydralisks to try and keep these alive, but unfortunately Golarion does end up going down there to the Corruptors because there was a miss there. It was a creative tactic to try and stall, but it was unfortunately not enough. Kerrigan has respawned and will be making her way there. Let's have a look at the production here. Yeah, so we have a Nice Worm, we have a Hydralisk Den. So Kerrigan will be going for a Hydralisk build with a Nice Worm, which is pretty standard Kerrigan play here. And Phoenix has essentially cleared out this side now, and we'll start to poke in a little bit on this enemy base. So let's have a look at the US loss. Yeah, so far we only have a Golarion and 1 Kerrigan loss. That's fine. Kerrigan was kind of debuffed unexpectedly. We have a Simulation Aura and Immobilization Wave, and you can see how much power the Immobilization Wave has. Just instantly one-shot pretty much everything that is there except the high HP units, which is fine. And now this enemy base has been cleared and is ready and ripe for the pickings. These void shards are now available to be cleared. Over here, Fenix has put down 5 more photon cannons on this side. Considering he's going for a mass carrier build, he's actually not taken his... He hasn't put anything on his gases, which is also a bit of a problem. Especially if you want to do a mass carrier build, you are usually very gas deprived. Kerrigan ends up cleaning up a large number of the Zerglings here, but there are a lot of Mutalisks, and one of the things that Kerrigan does struggle with is anti-air damage on the hero unit. Hero unit's anti-air is not really that good. She does have the chain reaction upgrade, which I think is probably the weakest of Kerrigan's upgrades. I tend to go for the Heroic Fortitude first, and then I get the ability efficiency, and then last I get the chain reaction upgrade. It really doesn't do a lot of damage. The bounce does not, it's not very impactful. But Fenix over here now has 3 carriers plus Golarion, and these void shards will go down thanks to Kerrigan's clearing, reusing her immobilization wave. And Kerrigan again is slowly ramping up. She also has an Ultralisk Den here, has queued up the extra upgrade. And I believe the reason for that is just to provide a front line for the Hydralisks. So we're expecting to see a Hydralisk, Ultralisk kind of build. Now the one issue with that is because this enemy comp is Brutally Corruption, which is mostly an air composition. The Ultralisks are probably not going to be getting a lot of value from. It will not be providing a lot of value for Kerrigan. It's much easier when Kerrigan wants to engage an attack wave to just use an immobilization wave to instantly clear a lot of the units and stun them. But having a few Ultralisks on the front line is fine as well. As long as there are not too many Ultralisks, it should be okay. Phoenix, on the other hand, is going to try and engage this bonus objective. He uses his cloak ability. Unfortunately, this pirate ship is... it is a detector, and it doesn't really care. Well, actually, it's not really a detector, but it can cast its ability like that, and it can cast abilities regardless if you're cloaked. The damage that the pirate ship does is actually not that much, so it's not really impactful. It's these abilities that do a lot of damage, and the carpet bomb ability, which is this one, that does an insane amount of damage, as you can see over here. There goes all the shields for Fenix, and now he's going to get stunned by all of this, and now the pirate ship is probably going to charge again. And the carriers are way too slow, and instantly 3-4 carriers go down. And yeah, unfortunately, that is ripped for a large portion of Fenix's army there. That is actually very, very painful. 4 carriers have gone down, plus Golarion in the earlier stages of the game. And we have a bunch of Corruptors here that are going to try and focus fire down Golarion. Are they going to get it? Actually, Actually, Mojo ends up saving that, saving Golarion there by stunning the Corruptors, which is very, very lucky on Fenix's side. And Fenix now is waiting here while Kerrigan goes to push forward to the next set of Void Shards. So let's have a look at the production. Yeah, we have basically Hydralisk. We have shield upgrades coming up. Okay, this is really odd. He's going for the shield upgrades, but he put down a cybernetic score at the start of the game. And a cybernetic score is not required for the Stargate. And he hasn't actually gone for the attack upgrades, which are probably the most important. Okay, there we go. So now we have the first air upgrade that is being researched at the 16-minute mark in the game. So yeah, that's actually really odd. I'm not really sure why Fenix did that. The shield upgrades, generally speaking, you don't really want the shield upgrades until you're floating a lot of resources, or unless you are, you know, supply blocked, which is or supply capped to be more precise. So I'm not really sure. There we go. We have an assimilation aura, another immobilization wave that comes up, and as you can see there, a high level immobilization wave can essentially one-shot a lot of the defenders in an enemy base, and can be very, very useful. So I actually do like the solo Kerrigan build. I really wish I could do it a lot more often, but solo Kerrigan builds are very, they're very, very niche, and you know, very specific maps actually work with that kind of build, which is very unfortunate because I really do like the solo Kerrigan build. I like seeing the immobilization wave just one shot pretty much every single enemy unit in an area. But Kerrigan does use her Nice Worms. Nice Worms are spread pretty well around the map. And now we have over here, and yeah, this is usually where I would use the immobilization wave, or you know, leave it to my ally. But there we go. We have a front line of Ultralisks over here that are tanking for the Hydralisks. Yeah, so we have like 4 Ultralisks here. Good number of Ultralisks. You know, it's not too much. It's not too imposing, especially because you're dealing with an air comp. Your damage is going to be coming up from these Hydralisks here. Kerrigan comes back, help her ally clear the next Void Shard. And you can see the power of Kerrigan's Nice Worms here. Her mobility is just absolutely insane. And Fenix now is going to spend a very, very long time working his way here, while Kerrigan will probably be able to clear this pirate ship before Fenix gets into position. Now, if I were in the situation as Fenix, I would basically just ignore the bonus objective and just go up this way and start working way on this final base, because Fenix is not going to get into position before Kerrigan ends up clearing out this entire side, because that is how mobile Kerrigan is with Nice Worms. And you can see here, like, the Ultralisks are getting body blocked by the Hydralisks. Like, you see these 3 guys are kind of getting pushed back a little bit, but yeah, mass Hydralisk as well for Kerrigan is even just as okay. Fenix actually decides, you know what, I'm just gonna park myself over here and wait, and there's a ping here for Kerrigan saying, come help me out here. But Kerrigan does not need the assistance of her ally, because she's gonna end up clearing a very, very nice split there for Kerrigan, who splits her army in half. Another bunch of Ultralisks here. One does end up getting caught out, but does end up respawning, and yeah, down goes the pirate ship, and Fenix's army is not even in position there. And now Kerrigan is ready to push into the last enemy base. So let's see which way Fenix decides to engage. Did he lose any more carriers? No. This is all he's lost there. Kerrigan did end up going down at some point. I don't know where she losing out that hero unit, but that's okay. We now have Kaldalis, which ends up jumping forward. It's a little bit too late. I think this kind of mix is, you know, it is somewhat convenient because you are dealing with an air comp, and having a lot of carriers does help. But very, very nice fungal growth comes down on these infestors. It's kind of taking out a lot of these interceptors there, and Fenix's army is now significantly weakened. But Kerrigan comes in to help, drops a Nice Worm. Out come the Hydralisks, and down go the Brood Lords, and that is the end of that attack wave there. And now Kerrigan is... Are they gonna flex on Amon? No. They're just moving back into position on this side here, I think.
Make use of their surge in potential.
And yeah, so... Okay, so we do have a Warbringer out now. Yeah, so what he's done now is he's actually getting these other champion AIs, but I think it's a little bit too late. You need to get your champion AIs first before you transition up into, you know, if you want to do a mass carrier build, it's a little bit too late. Down goes Warbringer there. And ripped through the Void Shard. Actually, that Void Shard got the kill with that ability. You should be getting your champion AIs first before you go into the carriers, because the carriers are expensive. Champion AIs are a little bit cheaper if you're getting one of each. But anyway, Fenix does have his army up ready now, and they are reasonably decently upgraded. Unfortunately, they're only at level 1. Are they only at level 1 upgrades? Yeah. They're only at level 1 upgrades. He has a level 2 shield, but only level 1 attack upgrades on his army, which is somewhat unfortunate, because Fenix's army benefits a lot from attack upgrades, especially the Interceptors, which is a prime part of his army. But anyway, Kerrigan has a strong enough army to be able to push and bulldoze the space. This Void Shard is going to end up going down very, very quickly. And one last Void Shard over here. A bunch of Ultralisk poking away on that, and Hydralisk chilling on the side. And they're basically over there, and now that is the last. That is a GG, and that is a GG as well from Kerrigan. And that is the last Void Shard down, and that is GG from me.